My name is Liz James, and I want to talk to you about Lego. I love Lego. So do my boys, but they like to build things more like weapon storehouses and tanks. I like building benign things, pretty things. One day I'd build a church I was particularly proud of, and I went to show it off to my boys.
Where's the main part? My son asked me when I showed him the masterpiece. Here, I said, pointing at the pews and the lectern. No, he said, where's the main part of the church? You know, the church. Here, I pointed again. He sighed. That's where the adults go, he said. But where's the main part of the church?
I explained to Eric how in the time of my grandma, whole families sat together to listen to one message. He says he doesn't think the kids would like that very much. I said according to my grandma they didn't, but explained about wisdom being imparted, the value of obedience and different traditional structures. He stopped listening around obedience, hauling all my parishioners out to do battle with a pirate ship that had inexplicably sailed up the main street of town. But it got me to thinking, what if I tried to build the main part of my church, not as the building, but the life that goes inside it?
How do you make a religion out of Lego? Not the symbols or the building, but what people actually do.
I started with other religions. I made a Catholic pyramid, with a pope at the top, and then the cardinals. The structure of this made even less sense to my 6-year-old. But somehow I don't think that Lego would be the right way to tell you about Catholicism. I think to really show you the heart of Catholicism, I'd need to take you to the Sistine Chapel or immerse you in the notes of Ave Maria. Lego as an art form is too goofy, too transient. When I think of Catholicism, I think of great works of art, great theological ideas painstakingly preserved and protected for future generations. Lego just doesn't do it. What about Buddhism? I envy the Buddhist simplicity, their focus on life in the moment and their comfort with the unexplained and unexplainable. But Lego as a purchased plastic toy doesn't seem like the right art form to use to pay homage to Buddhism. Maybe a dance would be a better choice, or a garden. For atheism, what would I use?
Somehow I don't think so. Because the heart of atheism isn't found in what it isn't, it's found in what it is.
So maybe I'd need images from the Hubble telescope, or excerpts of Darwin or Einstein's notes, to really show you the heart of atheism. Now what about Unitarian Universalism? What would I use to show the main part of that? Somehow I don't think so. This is what I had right before I discovered Unitarian Universalism. Stuff I'd pulled apart because it was wrong, or stuff that fell apart when you pushed on it, or stuff that demanded really twisting the pieces to get them to fit. It was like I'd been given a kit with instructions, and I'd thrown out the instructions and taken everything apart, but I had no idea where to start rebuilding. I knew I needed to build something for myself, but I didn't want to build something by myself. I needed something. I needed someone to join me and say, this is hard, but you can do this. Here's some ideas that have worked for me. Tell me what you're working on. I needed someone to say, you're not alone in this. This is worth doing. You can do this. People will say, I can't paint or I can't sing, but nobody will say I can't play Lego. There are no long lectures about architecture or color composition in the world of Lego art. There are Picassos of Lego, though. There are exhibitions and even museums with works of art on display. But they're meant to be copied, created, and changed. They're meant to inspire play. With Lego, the pulse of the art form rests not with the most brilliant, but with the kid who shouts, hey cool, and dives in. Unitarian Universalism is like that, I think. It's a theology that moves and plays and connects with you where you are. Which isn't to say it's one without structure or substance and content, but these things move and evolve and are shaped. They're not etched on the ceiling of a great cathedral or carved in marble. Good thing too, because the world is changing. People's beliefs are changing, but that's not the whole story. People aren't also attached to the format of church the way they used to be. They're learning in new ways, they're exploring in new ways, they're connecting with one another in new ways. We're equipped to meet that change because we're not a religious museum. We're not tethered to fixed beliefs or fixed structures that keep us from meeting people where they are. Where's the main part? My son had asked me about my church. And then, over the next year, The murmured mantras of two boys playing Lego on the living room carpet answered that question for me. The Psalms of Lego mirror ideas found in Unitarian Universalist history and theology. They tell the story of a main part that sees itself not as a religious museum, but as an ongoing religious playdate.
Do you think it will hold weight? Let's try. I'm done. No, wait. This piece we always use this way. We could use it this way too. Can we put a hinge there so it can open up? That's beautiful. What is it? How is it held together? That's not big enough. Let's take it apart in chunks and put it back together. Come on in, we're playing!
They tell the story of home found in structures and ideas that are alive with movement. They tell the story of radical shared ministry, connecting with people and ways of doing things that we've never connected with before. They tell the story of seeing the changes facing society and church not as obstacles to be overcome or worked around, but as opportunities to be integrated into what we're already building. Home that has the vision of expanding to fit the shape of all that we want to incorporate and create. Home that makes room. Come on in. We're playing.